We trying to behave ourselves on the story? Well, y'all know what we thinking right now.
I'm ready for the night. I got a little extra energy. I don't know what might come out of my mouth tonight.
Hide your kids. Tell them go sit their bad asses down so we're grown folks in here talking.
TGIF.
Hey everybody, it's your girl Claudia Jordan. It is Wednesday and I'm back with TGIF, a brand new episode, and it is going down. We are here to spill the tea and break down some of the biggest headlines in the news and on social media. And later on the show, the CEO of Zeus Network will join us to discuss the controversies that the platform is currently dealing with. So you don't want to miss that. So stick around, relax, get you something to drink, and get ready for this hot little tea. Now, let me go ahead and introduce the co-host here. Please welcome brand strategist, Al Reynolds. Hello, Al.
What's going on, Claudia?
How are you?
Good. So you're actually back in Texas.
I am for now, but my birthday's Tuesday and I'm going on a trip. I'm going somewhere. I'm going to go do something. So yes. Okay. And please welcome multimedia personality, talk show host, Funky Dineva. What's up, Q?
Hey, Claudia, my sister in denim.
Right. Do y'all have this issue where you have a ton of clothes and then when it comes time to find a shirt just to be dressed with a waist up?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I have so many clothes, but I feel like I wore this already.
I'm completely out of shirts.
Okay, so it's not. How about you, Al?
I'm out of clothes too. I mean, look.
Got that medium on tonight. I'm gonna show this chest. I'm gonna show these muscles.
I'm gonna sneak into something, right?
So what's everybody drinking tonight? Q, I believe this is week 2 or
Yes, on my H2O, baby.
wow.
So I'm actually, believe it or not, I have a cold. So I went to the health food store and they told me about this beer that you can buy because I still want to drink. You know, you're not supposed to drink alcohol when you're sick. It reduces your immune system, right? So I was like, well, what can I do? That means I can't drink while I'm sick. And the health food store guy told me that you can actually drink something called Unity Vibrations, which has kombucha in it, but it is a beer and it has a high level of alcohol in it. So I'm drinking Unity Vibrations tonight.
You know how much
that sounds like some women with head wraps who don't shave under their arms and a whole bunch of men who trying to fight the power making it. Sorry, I don't want no Unity Vibrations in my mouth. I'm good.
I was gonna say, you know how much of a lust you got to be to find kombucha, whatever, an alternative, so you still can get your drink on while you sick and you don't get the phlegm.
That's that hotel beer.
And it's called Funky. It's called Funky Ginger. So here's to Funky and Unity Vibrations.
Okay, how do you feel about that? He's got a little funky in his mouth tonight, in his throat.
Won't be the first time.
Well, speaking of inappropriate, according to an insider close to the Smith family, Jada Pinkett-Smith thinks that Will overreacted, but she isn't upset with him and did not want her to defend him. What the hell is this nonsense? The insider also said she's not one of those women that needs protecting. She's not a wallflower. She's a strong woman and an opinionated woman, and she can fight her own battles, but she'll stand by him. What do you think about this? Q, I see you having a reaction to this. I know we're very sick of this, but yeah, there it is.
So first and foremost, I don't want to hear this, right? Like I am so tired in the media thing, a source, an insider. I'm not doing that no more. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because quite frankly, any publication can make up whatever the hell they want to make up and say an insider. Say, who is it? I need that thing to say Sheila Johnson, the stylist to Jada said, miss me with all this insider said this and a source said that. However, if the insider is correct and Jada did say this, she honestly needs to just shut up at this point because, you know, Will went off and did it. And granted, you may feel that way, but it also comes off a little bit like you kind of throwing him under the bus, in my opinion, when you could just keep your mouth closed and remain neutral.
Good point. Al, what do you think about this? First of all, do you think Jada really said this?
Absolutely. Claudia, you know this. I was married to a celebrity and some pretty big significant things happened during that. And the insiders are people in the camp. And the first thing that people do, especially this story is huge. This is probably one of the biggest stories we've ever seen in the last 25 years or 20 years, if we want to be honest. They go to the people that are closest to the couple and they talk to them. They place outbound calls and they fish for information just like this. 100% she said it. And the thing, though, to me is I'm infuriated that she would even allow anyone to scoop this story out of her camp, because after what has he given up so far? Sony Pictures delayed. Netflix delayed. Resigned from the Academy. Waiting on disciplinary actions. Fighting with Chris Rock's entire family. Hollywood heavy hitters are separating themselves from him. What else? And she is really going to say this. She's really going to say this. I find it just sad that this would even come out of her mouth, whether she told an inside confidence or not. It just should not have been said. But we're not going to question it because we saw that new film or footage where when he actually slapped Chris Rock, she laughed.
I agree with both of y'all. I will say that, yeah, listen, we all know about false press. It doesn't, especially when they're not identifying who they are. But what would make this better is if, she's been radio silent. If she would come out and say, listen, I did not say that. She said nothing. And it's like, this is your husband. This is not your boyfriend. This is not someone you're dating. It would be nice if there was like one united front. Like, stars get lied on all the time, but there's nothing wrong with releasing a joint statement saying, listen, I support my man and I did not say this. I don't know. Like the silence is making me think that she did say it now.
Well, she's saving it all, which is smart. She's saving it all for the red table. With anything we want to know, she's going to, just how people say, you got to get the book. Anything we want to know, we got to go to the table.
We have a couple of soulmates chiming in. Life of Deshanta says, I think the insider is lying. Aries 88 says they don't have any leaks in their camp. That's not true. Every camp has leaks. And Melissa James says she's trying to do damage control. She's trying to save her red table.
That red table ain't going nowhere. That red table ain't going. That red table is what caused all of this, and it's going to continue to cause mess and confusion in their marriage if this is not the last time they discuss anything going on in their household. Because the reality of the situation is all the emasculation that Will is feeling is as a result of them putting their business out on that damn table.
Well, this is my question. Whether you want to save it for the red table or not, you can tweet something out. You can tweet out prayer hands for my husband, Will, during this difficult time. There are different ways that you can show support for the turmoil that this man has found himself in at the pinnacle of his career. I just feel like as a wife, she could do better.
I mean, but that would be for the public. She showed him support. Tiffany Haddish told her what to do. She sat there from the bike. She showed all the support.
I get saving it for red table, but is the red table more important than your 25-year marriage? Your husband's out here looking just by himself. He's on an island. You know what I mean? When people like through with him and he's losing this, job after, well, not jobs, but things are being paused. You're kind of letting him kind of be out there to dry without saying anything. And I would feel like if my man had a show, your show is more important than how I'm like a public display of support. You don't got to give the whole thing away. Give a teaser, say something, have my back and just say, like you said, Al, a tweet, something.
But I'm pretty sure, guys, he's in on it. I'm pretty sure he's not sitting in that house with her, looking at her like, oh, you just ain't going to say nothing. You just ain't gonna say nothing. I'm sure they've had a conversation about how they're going to.
You saw how he looked on that red table when she dragged him to the table to talk about that entanglement. I don't care what he says, talking about he had just flew back from Europe. That man looked distraught. He looked like he was on his last days of messing with her mess. I think this is just my opinion, that there is a tad bit of abuse going on in that relationship or marriage. And Will Smith is fed up, and that's why he resulted to the slap.
It was a clip about her with her and her daughter, and they were talking, oh my God, Kat, please stop, mind your business. Okay, about narcissistic traits. And Jada said, I think I have some narcissistic traits. And I was like, wow, now they're going to dig up every little thing they ever said.
Mm-hmm. No, the big part, Claudia, was the letter that the daughter wrote to Tupac. Now, that's the one that really changed my entire understanding of that family dynamic and what Will is going through. What was she, 8, 6, 7, 8-year-old, writes a letter to a man that does not live on earth anymore, was not alive when she was born, a letter saying, please come back so that me and my mother can be happy again. That speaks volume to the level of abuse that man, Will Smith, is going through in that marriage.
Well. Okay, I wish I could say this is the last we're going to be talking about it, but we covered trending topics. All right, moving on. According to reports, this one hurt my heart. Black Lives Matter founders used donations from the movement to secretly purchase a $6 million mansion in California. A board member of the Black Lives Matter released a statement claiming the home was purchased to serve as housing and studio space for recipients of the Black Joy Creators Fellowship. And the organization released the following statement on Instagram. We are bringing Black Boy Joy back, art, Black voices, straight to the top of your newsfeed to announce our new fellowship in Creator House. We are celebrating and uplifting Black creators, dancers, filmmakers, culinary artists, musicians, storytellers, narrative artists, and digital influencers. Now, this is all allegedly, okay? Social media users speculated that this is nothing more than a cover-up. And just a note, Patrisse Cullors, one of the co-founders of the organization, resigned almost a year ago now. This is alleged. But what do y'all think about this story? And do you think it's true? Or is it a hit job against Black Lives Matter? Al?
Well, I got to tell you, when I first read the story, I was like, gee whiz, this is disgusting. I can't believe they would do something like that. But then I had to sit back and I had to regroup and I had to think about this. So from a legal and from a logistical standpoint, this is 100% legal. A public entity, a not-for-profit organization legally has the ability to purchase and take title to real estate. Many of them do it to this day. There are specific procedures that they follow and specific oh Lord, that's not going to come out. There are rules right, that they have to follow, procedures that they have to follow, and filings that they have to do. And from what we understand so far, this organization has done it. The sad part here is that they did all of this on the shoulders of a movement that we thought that they were doing for a different reason as far as starting this charity and this foundation. A lot of people that gave thought it was going to help the victims of the families. A lot of people thought that it was going to go towards better legislation. A lot of people thought that it was going to go to help the violence in the police department. And that's not what this foundation is set up to do. This foundation, this chair is specifically created to help people in the creative space, in arts, entertainment.
I'm going to say this, some of your favorite, most people in nonprofits make a lot of money. This is not unique to nonprofits. I know millionaires, multimillionaires that do a little something. They do feed the kids. They do this, that, and the third. But a lot of money is in that space. So I think this is what they do. A lot of them. What do you think about this?
You know what? So I have a lot of questions here. So number one, my first job out of college I worked at a nonprofit, right? So I'm very familiar with this space. So to your point, you know what I'm saying? When you write a grant and when you write multiple grants or whatever the case may be, you do have the ability to write in what your salary would be as the person with the grant, right? But you also got to understand, Patrisse and others, that optically, this just doesn't look good. And I have a lot of logistical questions, right? All right, $6 million home. For $6 million, we know for a fact that home is located behind a gate somewhere. Who has access to home? If it's for the people and for the creatives, you know what I'm saying? It seems as if it's behind a gate, y'all have got to cherry pick who can get in, when they can get in, how they can get in. And quite frankly, if it's a $6 million home in a $6 million neighborhood, them neighbors ain't about to be having 30, 40, 50 cars sitting outside their house going in and out their neighborhood. That's number one. Number two, I think that if the intentions for this project were truly to be a safe haven to provide housing and provide creative space and all of those things, as they said, it would seem to me that buying an apartment building for $6 million would have been the better of the option. And optically, it would have looked better because we can't go around saying the owner of Black Lives Matter took the money and bought an apartment building. Obviously, she can't live in an entire apartment building. You know what I'm saying? When you buy an apartment building, that's a compound. That's something I can get behind. Oh, we've got a studio space in this room, YouTube space in that room, recording studio in that room, conferences in this room. Who is currently occupying the house right now? Are people sleeping in the house? A $6 million house probably only has about 6 or 7 bedrooms. How many families are you housing in said house? How are you housing families and throwing seminars at the same time and people live there? You know what I'm saying? So something in milk just ain't clean. I don't want to say the girl is frauding, but this looks like fraud and deception. Looks like.
Mm-hmm. You're right. The optics are terrible. The optics are terrible. And we can sit there and say, oh, because people in the chat are saying Susan Komen does this and this foundation allegedly. There's a lot of people shouting out other foundations that they've, benefiting off of it. But again, when it's us, we're going to have that extra spotlight on us. And we have to be mindful of that the optics can kind of ruin the narrative, can ruin the actual movement. I hope it's not. What do you think, Al?
Well, I'm sorry, Claudia, I didn't mean to cut you off. I think that the lesson is that from now on, even though it's something that we're really into, like this Black Lives Matter movement, we need to make sure that we read the disclosure statement. We need to read what we're donating to and where that money is going to. And that's something, Q, from working with your not-for-profit, that they have to have registered with the state. And they have to tell everyone, what does this charity do? What does this not-for-profit do? And where is the money because they solicited private donations. They solicited money from organizations and individuals. So they have to be very forthright and transparent about where it goes. I think most people thought Black Lives Matter movement, they thought it was going to the movement and that of social justice. And they just weren't familiar with what it was really doing.
That's right. All right. Well, we will definitely keep the soulmates posted on any updates to this story. We're going to take a quick break, but after the break, we'll be joined by the creator of the Zeus, the founder of the Zeus Network, Lemmie Plummer. You don't want to miss this. It's all coming up after this quick break. We'll be right back. Welcome back to TGIF. Now, our next guest, I know a lot of y'all have been looking forward to this, but listen, we are not here to attack this man. We're here to have a deeper conversation about what we're all doing here. That's what this is all about. So please welcome, and joining us now is the founder and CEO of the Zeus Network. Please welcome Lemmie Plummer. Hello, Lemmie.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Hey, Lemmie.
How are you, buddy?
Lemmie, I heard you want to fight me.
Not at all. Not at all. I heard you want to fight me. I'm confused.
Depending on how this conversation go, I might.
Oh Lord. Lemmie, first of all, listen, how are you? How are you?
Can I EP that fight, Lemmie?
Yeah, see, you should come on to Zeus. Come on, let's go.
I know Claudia might try to EP it.
So Lemmie, first of all, how are you? And thank you for joining us. I know you reached out after you saw one of our conversations about you. So thank you for being here. Zeus is being accused. Let's just jump right into it. Zeus is being accused of failure to ensure the safety and security of its cast members after an alleged fight broke out during the taping of Jocelyn's Cabaret. Now, it's been reported that Jocelyn's Cabaret cast member Amber Ali is now taking legal action against Jocelyn and Ballistic after the two allegedly jumped her. Now, Lemmie, can you give us more details about this incident, and do you have security on standby just in case things get escalated? And I also saw you said, I never got a lawsuit. It's news.
Yeah, I mean, look, like I said in a previous interview, we're conducting a thorough review and investigation, and I really can't comment on the specifics at this time. But the safety of our cast, crew, guests is our number one and top priority. We haven't received any claims, so there's really nothing to talk about. We haven't received any claims from.
So sorry, Mr. Plummer, but when you say you haven't received any claims, what exactly does that mean? Does that mean you haven't received any demand letters? You haven't received any?
People can make statements. We can't control what people do on social media. We haven't received any claims from their lawyers, or if they have lawyers. We don't know what their claims are, so we can't comment on something that we don't know what they're doing. We don't know what they're doing. So we can't comment on something that doesn't exist.
You haven't been served with a lawsuit, basically. Like that is a fault.
There are no claims at this immediate moment. However, I will say that it is something that I take very seriously. But we haven't received claims from any of the folks. It's always, like I said, a CEO, my top priority, to make sure that our sets, are safe, and that, again, the safety of our cast, crew, guests, whoever is really our top priority. So that is the reality. And so, if a claim is made, we will address it and we'll respond. But I have no idea what the claims are.
Got it.
All right. So I know you've heard, the statement that I made about your platform. That's probably a large part of the reason why you're here. For those who have not seen it, we got a clip. Let's take a look. I am very proud of the fact that we got a Black brother that has built a network and it's profitable and he's getting shine. But to be quite frankly, brother, you built your network on trash. You built your network on trash, and you set our culture, as far as I'm concerned, with all those pieces of programming, you set us backwards. So maybe this is the chain of events needed for Zeus to take a small shift in direction. So that being said, Lemmie, how did you feel seeing that clip? Because I'm sure everybody sent it to you. And what's your rebuttal to that?
I really didn't feel anything. I mean, look, you're entitled to your opinion. I don't agree with you at all. Our customers don't enjoy garbage. I don't agree. I think our customers are intelligent enough to understand what they're consuming. You know what I mean? So you saying it's garbage and trash, that's one person's perspective. I don't understand how you quantify or qualify, trash. How do you qualify trash? I don't understand that. Are you talking violence, sex, drugs, et cetera? I mean, if that's the case, then all of Hollywood is trash. Every production, every show, every network is trash. And then we should probably watch TBN and the Word Network every day.
I mean, Lemmie, we could honestly sit here and play a game of words all day long, but the fact
it's not words, Funky. It's not words. You said our programming and the network is trash. Mm-hmm. I invested my own money to create a Black-owned network because we're usually not given these opportunities, to be in a position where we actually can distribute content, fund, finance, invest in programming. And so I didn't really think about it. It wasn't like, I wasn't like sitting around sad, or upset. I mean, it is annoying. I'm a little vexed by it. However, I will say this. It's like for me, it's like this specific show. Your show is called TGIF. You're talking about. I just watched your segment, right? You guys talked about Will Smith and Jada Pinkett. You're talking about negativity all day, right? Negative news. You know what I'm saying? You didn't highlight Samuel Jackson's or Quest, what's the guy's name? Questlove, you didn't spend a whole segment talking about how that was Samuel Jackson's first Oscar. You spent all the entire segment talking about Will Smith and Jada Pinkett, and giving your commentary. So in a sense, TGIF is trash, or maybe, maybe you're an association. Maybe you're an affiliate of Zeus. I'm confused. You know what I mean? So what are you saying?
Okay, so Mr. Plummer, hold on, Al. Mr. Plummer, we, obviously, how convenient of you. You cherry picked one example of one particular segment. This show, we cover a vast array of topics, both intellectual and garbage. I mean, it is a gossip show. You, on the other hand, I took
what does gossip mean?
Hold on. I'll let you finish, so let me finish. Sure. I took a minute to go through all of your programming on your show, right? Because I didn't even know that you had all of the programming that you did on your platform, and congratulations. But I find it odd that in your speech, you used the word intellect, right? Or intelligent. Our viewers are intelligent, and I'm not doubting that. But of all of your shows that get Zeus the most ratings, you've got Baddies, you've got Jocelyn's Cabaret, Boys, Los Angeles, you had Blac Chyna, you had One More Chance. I'd like to think that those are your most popular shows. You can't sit here and pretend like there is not a reverberating theme that goes throughout all of those shows. And it is extreme fighting and violence that surpasses what we see on normal cable. And it seems to be that that is a large part of your success. That's low-hanging fruit, in my opinion. I could go out right now with the camera, throw water on homeless people, make a show out of it, and it would skyrocket. Doesn't mean it's right.
You're completely wrong. You don't own a network. You're not a CEO of a network, and you're not in my position. So I respect what you're saying. However, I don't agree with you. I don't think our audience is trash. I do think that the customers are intelligent enough to understand, again, like I said, what they're consuming. They understand. You're basically saying the audience is stupid. Right?
No, I'm not saying.
We have a ton of subscribers, right? They understand what they're consuming. You know what I'm saying? And so I think when you actually watch the shows, you reference Blac Chyna, you reference Bad Boys LA, you reference Jocelyn, you reference Patty. I mean, there's a lot of other storylines. It has multiple components. It's not just salacious or conflict driven. You know what I mean? It is. Some of our shows and some of the storylines have heart. It's real, it's raw, it's uncensored, it's unfiltered, I mean, we have tons of shows. Some of our hit shows happen to be some of the ones that are a little bit more louder and provocative, but we have over 60 plus shows on the platform that you don't even talk about, short form content from influencers and all sorts of folks. So I'm just saying we have a diverse, I'm sorry?
Because no one watches those.
Let me jump in here.
Do you understand what I'm, okay. So you just proved my point. You just said no one watches those.
Can I ask a question? Can I ask you a question? Share me. You obviously are a network CEO, right? So that means you have a handle on television across all genres, right? Mm-hmm. You watch a lot of TV, or you have experience watching on TV. Is that correct?
I'm 35. I'll be 36 this weekend. Mm-hmm. I sold my first show to BET when I was 21 years old. It was a show called Vindicated. They bought it.
A lot of experience.
And your guys' boss, James DeBose, he understands. He was at BET for a while. He understands the process. Shout out to James. Thank you, James. I appreciate you. You're a great guy. But I will say that I sold my first show when I was 21. It was about folks who were wrongfully convicted of crimes that they were exonerated from. And Morris Chestnut hosted it, and we had a plethora of shows. I sold the Preachers of LA.
Right. Mr. Plummer, I'm sorry. I'm not asking about your.
Yeah, no, I'm saying I understand. I was responding. I was saying I understand different types of shows.
Hey,
I'm just saying I have a background.
I understand. So I just want to get my question out, please. Let me get my question.
Sure. I thought you asked your question. Go ahead.
No, I didn't. So my question is, of all the shows that you've created, all the shows that you see on television, which ones, or name a show that you would consider to be trashy, or consider to be lowbrow, or consider to be not good for the culture? Is there any show in TV land that would be considered trashy, lowbrow, not good for television?
It is. So Al, thank you for your question. I hear you. It is very subjective. Who saying a word, saying trash, right? I'm not going to use a word that you're using. I'm not going to say trash. I think people come from all different places in the world. People have different upbringings. People have different stories. People are in different places in their lives. And we choose to show and we choose to follow the stories in real form, in real time. We try to give our audience programs that are real and raw, uncensored, like I said, unfiltered. Nobody's really doing that. That's the beautiful thing about having a streaming platform. We don't have to appease advertisers, right? So the content can be a little bit more edgy. It can be a little bit more provocative. We can tell the stories in a more real way, right? When you have advertisers, you have to water the content down. You can't use profanity. You can't show nudity. You can't. That's why people appreciate Netflix. I mean, some of the other streaming, whether it's Netflix or HBO. HBO has had tons of shows that maybe you would call salacious or conflict driven or too raw or too much, but there's an audience for it. They're HBO. They have a range.
want to jump in here, Lemmie, with you. I'm not here to attack you at all. And
no, I don't. By the way, guys, I don't feel attacked. You guys are entitled to your opinion. I don't. You guys. Here's the thing. I appreciate you guys having me on the show. And your platform, and Funky, you said a lot of negative things about Zeus, which is unfortunate. I don't understand. Here's what I don't understand. It's usually us as Black people, who attack this sort of content and people when we have it, but you don't do it with the other networks. You don't do it with the VH1s. Why aren't you calling out Viacom CEO?
Well,
why aren't you calling out Viacom CEO?
So
why don't you call out WeTV? Why don't you call out Bravo? Why don't you call out these presidents and CEOs? Why do you got to sit on your platform knowing that I'm a new streaming platform? We're doing the best we can. We're telling the best stories we can. I don't think any of our talent, any of our content partners are trash. Natalie Nunn is a fantastic businesswoman, entrepreneur. People love her. She's been on television for a while. Same with Jocelyn Hernandez. Same with Ray J. Same with Princess. Same with Chance. Same with Blac Chyna. Same with Drea. All these people have been on television. They love them. We've given them an opportunity. We've, in a way, given them a second chance. And you guys, by saying these very derogatory, very negative things, you're in a way saying that about them. I'm giving them the platform to be them. I'm giving them the platform to monetize in a completely different way. The money that they're making, they will never make that type of money that they're making on a VH1 and a WeTV. Why? Because they're not going to share in the revenue.
Let me jump in here real quick. I want to say this because it's been a lot. Y'all have been saying, everyone's been saying how they feel about the content. And to your point about being a young CEO of a company like this, I think we have to look at it like this. I've said it before. Is it what came first, the chicken or the egg? The fact that you have 60 shows, and we do talk about the ones that are the most salacious, and people complain about those, but you do have shows. I've talked to you before about your other shows on your platform where you have balance. You have other shows, but people, again, and I think that goes to the appetite of the consumer. And if you are delivering what your consumers want, then you are doing your job. Now, you don't have to watch it. If you don't like the content, you don't have to watch it. And if you do like the content, then go there and watch that. That's what I want to say to people that are coming.
Claudia, thank you. And I appreciate your perspective. You're right. Now, Claudia, I hired you to be a host on one of our reunions. Is that right?
You did.
Right. You worked for Zeus. Okay.
Yeah, I did. And people have that comments.
Did we in any way, shape, or form force anybody to do anything? Did you force anybody to do anything? No. Or was it real? Right. It was real. We had the cameras there. We're showing. This is what the audience wants to see. If the reunion,
crackheads want crack, that mean I'm gonna give it to them. You know what I'm saying? And hold on.
I'm sorry. Say that again.
Let me finish, because Lem, you've been doing a lot of talking. Let me finish. And you addressed the whole, do we attack Viacom, so on and so forth, because now you want to do the whole, I'm a Black man. I salute what you're doing. I love the fact that you have a network, but I think with you having the network and the creative autonomy to do whatever the hell you want to do, I also think you have a social responsibility, Lem, to show us in lights that we've never been seen before and that don't exploit the most negative stereotypes of our culture. I'm sorry, shows where people just outright fight, it's low-hanging fruit and it's intellectually lazy. And there's no.
So you're calling our consumers and customers crackheads?
Listen,
that's what you just said. You just said so. You're
hey you guys, listen. I gotta jump in here. This is not the interview that we did not want it to go.
Listen, I'm having a great time.
No. Conversation.
But I'm getting my notes. This is not where we wanted to go. This is a Black man that does run a network. We need to have a conversation. We do want to give you your flowers for that. We can disagree on whether we support the content or not. And we obviously do. Some people do, and some people don't. You have choices on what you want to watch. At the end of the day, you are a 36-year-old man that runs a Black man that runs a network.
And not only am I a 36-year-old Black man, Claudia, I employ a lot of people, which is one of the reasons why I signed up to be a CEO and founder of a network. To me, it was important to give jobs behind the scenes, in front of the screen. We're like 3-4 years in, guys. We're 3-4 years in. of course, I have plans to diversify our content. We've been doing it. We invested in Drea's show. We invested in all sorts of shows. We invested in the Millennium Tour with Omarion. I mean, so you guys are talking about a couple of projects and shows, which we appreciate. People watch it. People are talking. I don't greenlight shows to create controversy, maybe conversations, maybe to show the real, maybe to show the raw, like I said, maybe to allow people to tell their story. Jocelyn is Jocelyn. Jocelyn is Jocelyn. She's going to be Jocelyn no matter where she goes. I gave her a platform. She was passionate about doing a cabaret. You spoke very negatively about the cabaret, saying it's no cabaret, this, that, and the other.
It isn't one. I went to it. It doesn't.
Okay, we've got to go to commercial. We've got to go to commercial right now before I lose my job. And I'm gonna have to come over there, and you have to give me a show over there. Okay, so.
Well, I hope we can come back from commercial and talk about some of the other things. I hope you guys don't cut me off here. I hope we can talk about other things.
Let's take a quick break and figure out where to go with this. We will be right back with more after this. Welcome back to TGIF. Now, before we went to break, we were having a very spirited conversation with the founder and CEO of the Zeus Network, Lemmie Plummer. And listen, we got all the spicy stuff out of the way, and that's not the sole intent of this interview, because we can't criticize others about being negative if our entire thing is like this. We got to talk about, we had a conversation before about you saying you want to add balance, and you say, I feel like you're not being heard when you say that. So let's get into that. Let's get into you saying the kind of program you want to do. You've heard the critics already. You've heard what people have to say. You've heard what we've had to say here. You hear it. So to that, what kind of stuff, like what kind of program do you see being greenlit on Zeus moving forward?
Yeah, thank you so much. First of all, and I appreciate, everybody's thoughts and your questions and your feedback. It's important. And so I appreciate you guys allowing me on the platform to speak to you guys about these things. We're doing a lot of great things. I think for us, we have a lot of new programs in our development slate. We are diversifying our programs. We're getting into scripted. We're getting into live programming. We're launching Zeus Music. We're launching Zeus Lounge. We have a philanthropic, aspect to the company that we take very seriously. We're sponsoring events. We sponsor charity. I mean, we donate to charities. We do all sorts of things, guys. And we don't maybe publicize everything, but we're doing as much as we can behind the scenes. And so we're employing folks. There's a lot of people that are working in front of the camera, behind the camera. Predominantly, most of our crew is African-American, which you don't really see in Hollywood. Most of the people in front of the camera is African-American or minority. And so that's important to me. We're doing everything we can to invest in new programming. Look, where we've started is not where we're going to finish at all. You know what I mean? And so these are the early days of Zeus. And so for me, I'm excited about the future and where we're headed. And I love what you guys are doing. I think FOXSOUL is an amazing platform, and all the programming that you guys have, Cocktails with Queens and TGIF and all the different things you guys have. I think you're Funky and Al, you guys are, and obviously Claudia, you guys are amazing, television personalities and entrepreneurs. And so congratulations to you guys. If you have projects that you think can work with Zeus, let's go, let's rock out, let's do it. Let's not tear each other down. Let's not talk negatively about, each other. And I think for me, it's just important that we, that you guys understand that, Zeus is doing a lot more than just a few specific shows that folks are talking about. So yes, we have a lot of plans. We have a lot of things that we want to do. We love to collaborate with all sorts of brands, and if it makes sense. So we're doing great. We're number one right now in the streaming SPOT space. BET's not where we are. VH1's not where we are. WeTV's not where we are. All Black's not where we are. The little, the new little FUBU thing, they're not where we are. All these other.
You said the little FUBU thing.
But I completely love what you said, and especially when we start to approach things from the whole Black people perspective, it being a Black network, you employing Black people, you giving Black people talent. I love all of that. But I think one thing that is missing in our media and in our community as a whole, respectfully and out of love, I also think in being Black and in supporting Black, we cannot be afraid from time to time to pull our brothers and our sisters to the side, regardless of who owns the company, and give them a little correction with love. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, not taking the interview back to where it was. I'm looking forward to these other projects, brother. You know what I'm saying? And like I always said, I will never tear nobody down without extending the hand to lift.
And I hope they make TGIF.
You know what I'm saying? I hope they would, and they don't involve pulling somebody's scalp out. You know what I'm saying? I hope they do too. And that's the thing. I would like for them to make TGIF for reasons greater than somebody's hair being pulled. That's the point. That's the only point.
No, and I understand. I understand everything you're saying, and it makes complete sense. And I don't disagree. And I look forward to you guys seeing those new programs and shows. And I hope we get the same support. I hope you guys highlight some of the new shows. And even with the Bad Boys LA, it's a great show. It's out right now. People are talking about The Real just did a whole piece on it today. These are real conversations, that people are talking about, whether it's their sexuality, whether it's, just what they want to do with their lives. And, it's a lot of different moving parts and pieces and components to, television and working with a lot of people. So, I'm doing the best I can, guys. I hope I have your support. Again, it's very rare to see a young 36-year-old African-American running an actual credible, real mainstream network that trends every week on Twitter or anywhere from number 10 to, 30 in the App Store or whatever. That it's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of moving parts. And so I'm doing everything I can, guys, to make sure Zeus is successful, and whatever I can do to support what you guys are doing over at FOXSOUL, I'm 100% down. I'm gonna promise you on camera right now that when you have these other shows with this balance, we're definitely gonna support. We're gonna show light, because you are a 36-year-old Black man running a network with Black employees. When I was there, I told you that. I like how you take care of everybody here. I said, the way you had all those Black people in powerful positions, I really was there for that. And I am all for that. Now I can support you and give you your props as a Black man. And I could also say, I don't like that, I don't like this, but that's my choice. And I will say to your point earlier, there's plenty of white networks that did the same exact business model, used Black people at our worst and blew up, and then switch the script on it and put all this safe stuff afterwards. What was it? The WB, all our these shows, networks, same exact thing. But I do think you being a Black man, you're going to have the extra spotlight on you. You're going to have the extra smoke, because that's what we do. Yeah. But it's one thing to stay to create your network like that and stay in that space. But the evolution is what we are all here for. Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you, Claudia. I think you want to see that. You said it. Thank you. And our experience with you was amazing as well. You were amazing at what you do, and you were easy to work with. And thank you so much for, I'm still waiting on my bonus check that you told me to, so you can put that down after this. Yes, okay. And I gotta shout out James DeBose again. I love James. He's doing an incredible job with FOXSOUL. Kudos to what he's doing over there. Like he's a beast, man. He's been in this game for a while. So you guys have somebody running it over there that's amazing. So I'm just saying, thank you guys for the time. I really look forward to, coming back on maybe in the near future. And so, or maybe one of our talent can come on and you guys can talk about a specific show. But this has been really fun, and I look forward to it. But yeah, stick around for the journey and the evolution. Like you said, at Zeus, we're not going anywhere. It's only up. Zeus going up from here. Okay. Al, before we go, I know you didn't really get to say that much. Did you want to say anything in closing before we leave, Al? Oh, no, I'm good. Thank you very much, Mr. Plummer. Enjoyed the interview. Thank you, Al. Nice to meet you. I hope this was a pleasant experience for you. I like that here on TGIF, we can get there, and you and Funky had a very honest conversation I think needed to be had. And I think I'm giving you a hug. I'm giving you a hug. Yeah, no, baby. It's all love, but I'm acknowledging you when you're right. I'm gonna correct you when you're wrong. And it's always gonna be that way. Yeah, likewise. The feeling is mutual. There we go. All right. Look at God. Won't he do it? We're going to take a quick commercial break. Lemmie Plummer, founder and CEO of the Zeus Network. We will be looking forward to your balanced programming, and we will support one Black platform to another. We will take a quick break. We'll be back with more TGIF after this. Welcome back to TGIF. All right, y'all, we all know how important sleep is to our overall health and wellness. Well, let me tell you about Ghostbed, the best beds in the game. Ghostbed is made by Nature Sleep, an industry leader in the mattress space since 2001. Now, every Ghostbed product, from their mattresses to their sheets and pillows,
is designed with cooling features, so it's perfect if you sleep warm. Shipping is free and fast, and most orders ship within 24 hours. Now you can try our mattress for 101 nights with guaranteed money back, and you even get an industry-leading warranty of up to, get this guys, 25 years. Now, right now, Ghostbed is offering our listeners 40% off Ghostbed bundles where you get a mattress, an adjustable base, or 30% off mattresses and 2 free luxury pillows. Now, I got a few Ghostbed products on the way, and I'm so excited to get them. To find your perfect mattress, use promo code T at ghostbed.com/T. Now, you won't want to miss out on these savings. That's promo code T at ghostbed.com/T. Go ahead and get you that Ghostbed and get you that good night's sleep. We're taking a quick commercial break, and we'll be back with more TGIF with Funky and Al when we return. Welcome back to TGIF. All right, y'all, let's get into the stories. We have a few minutes left so we can get into this. All right, y'all. One of our favorites, Roland Ray, made an appearance on Instagram to let his followers know he is alive and well after being in a coma. Now, the reason for the coma appears to be COVID related. His Instagram caption reads, "Stop giving death rumors. It don't give dead. Thank you. And thank you everyone for wishing me well and not giving up on me." Are y'all glad to see Roland Ray is still around? Who is more moved by this story? Oh,
listen, I live for Roland Ray's entrances. Okay. When that elevator door flung open, I just knew it was going to be some mess. And Ray said, "It's not giving dead." And drove off. This boy is so hilarious. There is a special place on television for Roland Ray. They have not found it yet. Maybe Roland Ray people, y'all was already over there at Zeus on the conversation. Y'all need to pitch something over there because there definitely is a TV show to be made with Roland Ray.
I heard that there was some show in the works with Roland Ray, which I think would be TV magic, TV gold. Can
you imagine Roland Ray and Andrew Caldwell in the same show?
Okay, that's going to be a mess. Al, what do you think? Roland Ray is alive and well. He said it's not giving death. It's not giving coma. It's giving awake and alive.
You on mute, Al.
Al, you muted.
Oh, sorry. After that last interview, my apologies. I feel like he looked healthy. He had a decent haircut. His skin was glowing. Roland Ray talked like he had some sense. I feel like we got a new Ray, and I'm here for it. I just felt like everything about him looked clean. It looked upbeat. It looked healthy. I like the fade, the high top. I like, his nails looked neat and clean. He wasn't dusty, no paste and glue. I liked it. I thought this new Roland Ray, I'm here for it.
Yeah, I remember we wanted to get him on the show early on in TGIF. He wanted a booking fee.
He wanted a booking fee.
I was like,
Roland Ray, we're going to extend this invitation one more again, and we are not paying you. So look, man, the people going to email you, Ray. All right, we want you to roll up on us TGIF and have some fun because we still trying to figure out how that wig caught fire. We still got questions, and we curious to know if you know where Kelly Price had wig at. I'm not gonna let Kelly live.
Oh my God. I'm trying to be so positive today. I'm in a good mood, skin's glowing. I'm happy. I want positivity and love. Roland Ray, come do the show. You got enough money from Beyonce and Ivy Park free products coming through. You don't need our little $1,500. Okay?
And the people money you kept from that club booking.
Oh, we good then. You've been paying it right.
You good, Ray. Pay it forward.
All right, y'all, before we go, let's get into this. If we can try to get into this real quick. On Twitter, Blac Chyna announced, and Al, I know this is one of your favorites, that she's refocusing her attention on her lawsuit against Kris Jenner, Kim, Khloe, and Kylie. Chyna wrote, "When they got my #1 hit show killed back in January 2017, that not only hurt me financially and emotionally, it hurt my beautiful kids. I'm taking them to court to stand up for my legal rights, peace, and love to you all, Angela." Now, Kim Kardashian and Kylie Jenner asked the judge to not to allow Chyna to refer to them as billionaires in court because they feel the jury will turn on them if they're constantly reminded of the wealth. Al, do you think this is a fair request?
Oh, absolutely not a fair request. But listen, I'm a Blac Chyna fan. This is monumental. Blac Chyna, and where Blac Chyna is from, is suing 2 billionaire women. They are probably the most popular influencers in the world, and Blac Chyna has decided to take them all. Thumbs up to Blac Chyna. And now I understand why she's selling all her cars. She is making a very strong case, and I don't know who's advising her, but it's very, very smart. She is making a very strong case that this heart has forced her to sell her assets. It's forced her to realign and not even have to take care of her kids. Whoever's advising her is giving her some very good advice, to the point where the Kardashians are begging the judge to not let her say the word billionaire in court, because she already knows, the Kardashians already know that the sympathy train is the one that Blac Chyna is going to use. But the best part of all of this is that I strongly believe that there will be a settlement. And this is a very, very encouraging tactic that Blac Chyna is using to get what she wants.
Okay. Q? 20 seconds.
I see a settlement coming. That's just what I was going to say. Kris Jenner don't like no negative press. She's very good at smoothing things over. I see a settlement coming.
Okay. What a mess, huh? They were all one big happy family, and look at them now. All right, y'all. Very entertaining show. Balanced interview.
They said this thing was like Whitney and Wendy back in the day. That's what they said on the internet channel.
Well, you know what? We covered all bases. I want to thank my co-hosts, Al Reynolds and Funky Dineva, for helping tonight and doing their thing. And Lemmie Plummer for joining us. Thank you for being here support. Thank you for watching us on YouTube. Stay tuned for the premiere of season 2 of Turned Out with T.S. Madison. Good luck, Maddie. See you next time.